This video will take you through the steps to create a master page in InDesign, which you will use in lab number 4, and then you'll also apply the same technique in project 3, your multi-page magazine story. A master page is a page style that you will apply some elements of that style to either the entire document, the entire publication, or to a certain set of pages. And you can create as many master pages as you want in InDesign. We're just going to create one kind of style of master page here. So let's create a new document and do a master page. All right, let's set up our document real quickly. I want print, letter, inches, facing pages. Oh, let's make like 20 pages or something just for this one. And 3 columns, gutter of 1/4 of an inch, margins of 1 inch on the top, 0.5 is fine for the bottom, inside of 0.375 and outside of 0.625, and create. Now the master pages, we can modify these up here, and let's make sure we're actually working in the master. And so these two are highlighted, and this is showing me the master for the spread. And the way the master works is that anything I apply, say to this left-hand page, will be applied to all the left-hand pages. Anything that I apply to right will be applied to all the right-hand pages. So if I were to put like a circle in here and just pick a color, that circle is going to appear in all of them. If I were to copy it, put it over here, it'll appear in all of the right-hand pages. So that's kind of how the master works. It applies whatever you put in there to all of the pages of that same side. We're going to use the master to create page folios. Page folios are like the header and the footer in Word documents or something like that. They're where the identifying information for the publication name, maybe the date, and the page numbers usually go. Let's start with the page numbers. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. And I'm going to put a page number right in here. I'm going to use a style that I saw in a magazine called Ranger Rick Jr., which is a circle with the number inside of it. And so I'm going to make it a circle, hold down the Shift key. Maybe zoom in just a little bit. And get that aligned with the margin. All right. Swap stroke and fill, and I'm going to put a fill on there of some kind of a dark blue. All right, now let's duplicate this. And I can duplicate it by holding down the Option key with my selection tool. Option, click, and drag. And we're going to put it over on the other side here. Drag it into place right there. Okay. Now let's make a page number. So I'm going to zoom in again so I can see. And I'm going to create a text box. I'm going to keep it out here for a minute. And instead of typing a page number, what I'll do, I'll go ahead and select my type. I'm going to make this Museo Sans, and we'll try 12.500 italic. Instead of typing a page number in here, which would mean that if I type the number 1 will appear in all of my left-hand pages. What I want to do is go to my type menu and say Insert Special Character, and then say Marker, and say Current Page Number. Okay, so now that's put an A in there, which is what I want, and it's put it in the style, the character style that I want. I just want to change the color because that black on a dark blue isn't going to work very well. So I'm going to select that, and I'll double click here, and actually I'm going to go to a swatch. I'm going to click on a swatch here, and we're going to put this as paper color. Now it vanished because that's paper color is white, but if I drag this on top of here, it'll show up. And got it centered in there, and that will work. Now if I want to see if that worked, what I can do is instead of looking at my master, I'm going to look at page 10. Let me see the number, the page 10 is in there. It looks like it's actually a little bit off center, so I will change that at some point. But now if I look at page 3, it's not, because we only applied that to the left-hand pages. So let's go ahead and apply it to the right-hand pages now. So to apply the page number to the right-hand page, I just need to go back to my left-hand page, go back to the master, and I'm in the master. I click on this, and I'm just going to duplicate it again. I'll do Option, and then click and drag, and that's going to duplicate it and drag it over here. And we're going to drop it on to the right-hand page. And put it into position, and now if we look at our right-hand pages, that should have the page number on it. So page 9 has page 9, page 3 has page 3, and so on. Now let's set up the rest of our folio information. I want to get out of the page 2, back into my master, and we'll put kind of the section of the magazine here and the date, and then we'll put kind of the magazine theme line over here. So I'm going to put a guide down here so I can align my type with the top of the page number. And zoom in just a bit more. And let's make a text box. And again, we're going to use the Museo Sans 500 italic and 12 point. And for the color, well, let's go ahead and set this at, say something like October 18 and dash Campus Pulse or something like that. And then why don't we set that in the color that we used right here. And see what that looks like. That'll be all right, but it's a bit strong. So let's dial that back a little bit. I've already got my swatches open. So one way to do this, while I've got the type selected, I go to my color here, make sure this color is active, and then I'm going to make a new swatch, and that saves that color, and now I can dial back the tint of it. Let's take it back maybe to about 60% and see what that looks like. And you know, you can play around with that a little bit, but I think that'll work okay. All right, so that gives us the October 18 Campus Pulse on our left-hand pages. Now let's get the theme line for the magazine on the right-hand page. And I don't want to set up all that formatting again, so I'm simply going to Option, click, and duplicate this item. And bring it over here. And now I can edit it. And in this case, I will take my type and go to my paragraph. I'm going to make this one flush right, so it's over there. And now I will edit it to say something like when college gets tough, get Tuffy, the name of the magazine. And let me get that aligned a little bit better. Oops. Bring that guide down. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, and it duplicated my items a couple of times, so that's when I was dragging it over. I kept holding down the Option key. Okay, so there is the master page, and we can see that's what it looks like on pages 16 and 17, and should look the same way on any spread. Okay, that's kind of how you set up a master page.